is going to be ridiculous.
Looks like JDM might be going for a fast peek. Just looking at the wall in case any flashbangs were coming in. He was towards lower. Often you'll see AWPers looking at the rock. When people pass it, they can often get shot in the head from an AWPer in that position, but nothing doing for him. JDM is the only player who looks like he's driving a Cadillac while he's playing in professional matches, the way he sits in this chair. Again, we've got Kenny and Devil towards long A, just keeping an eye on things, again, making sure there's no flanks, which can be very powerful if they come off from the CT, so we're going to have to be weary of that. For the time being, there's a 4-man stack here with only 2 rifles on the CLG side, the rest of them with 5.7s. They've still got some utility, a lot of counter flashes, 2 smokes, so they can slow down the Envy side, who start to move into the drop zone.
Yeah, so we're starting to get the constricting movement here from ENVYUS as they take drop, as they edge their way down the plateau as well. CLG haven't got too much of a wind of this. You can see they're giving up some positions here, but this buy is not really the best ever. 3 5.7s and only 2 major weapons in the M4 and the AWP on CLG, so they're not the best equipped to deal with this push. But there's Apex, who'll find the first player. He can't quite break out through the window. Instead, going to pop flash through the smoke, making his way into that B site. Maybe he can split the defense here, but it looks like so far CLG are doing a great job getting these frags, and in fact ENVYUS are struggling. They can't get off the plateau.
User joined your channel.
It's going to be on Happy's effort here to make something happen around drop. He goes for the next engagement, but he can't get it done. Tarek with the 5.7. Now Kenny S trapped alone, and JDM, there's the last nail in the coffin for that round of ENVYUS.
User disconnected from your channel.
Did not work out. CLG showing that they are actually on point.
We haven't seen much in the way of executes on the B-bomb site from ENVYUS. Like you saw, we've seen multiple times now already in this match where there's a player being standing on tree. That's a position that's commonly Molotov from the other side of the team main wall, but we haven't seen anything like that from Envy, despite having utility in a number of rounds. They find themselves short once again, though, down to the pistols, the Tech-9s, the P250s. Again, they've got many flashbangs and 2 smokes, so we'll see what they have to offer on this occasion. 5 Frenchmen headed towards the bomb site now, expecting lots of flashbang spam to come in. Fugly got punished last time.
User joined your channel.
Again, just come even closer.
खेल रहा है GTA क्या कोई नहीं.
Yeah, so far it's actually panning out okay for ENVYUS. They need to get the bomb down. They will be able
Match
to do that.
खत्म नहीं हुए.
They've got 4 players left alive, taking some post-pump positions, but CLG setting up the retake there. Tarek was going to bust through towards the plateau area, so CLG get positioning going into this, but it's absolute chaos with the pistols. Devil coming in with the 2K now, and that's
ये
CLG
तो
left
बंद
with
कर
only
यार.
Tarek. He's
1
fully
मिनट.
stacked on
Sorry,
nades, armor, health, everything, but he's got 2 players to find. MBK goes down, just a lick of health, lick of damage there to take him down rather, as the smoke will be planted by Devil to give him, by Tarek to give him some more space to work with, and he's going to go straight through the smoke. I don't think that was expected at all by Devil, and there's plenty of time for Tarek to pick up his defuse with this kit. Very nicely done by Tarek there, 3K.
YouTube पे ये क्या?
He's going to tie things up, but what an expensive round.
Yeah, that was a really smart play by Tarek actually, because of where the bomb was planted, you can use
Achha.
the direction of the wall basically to almost guarantee a spray down, because it's a situation where it might be more difficult in other situations where smokes have gone down. So nice play by him. Timing
हो रही है bomb defusing 1.
with Devil concentrating on spraying towards the bomb. So 4-4, CLG again struggling, but this time they have
मेरी आवाज बीच में जा रही है.
The Mag 7 continues on Haze, but we've seen what he can do with that. More utility, they've got building some bank with it as well, and Envy are going to be on a proper eco on this occasion. Actually, I say that. They've got full armor and pistols, so again, looking for the aim duels there. I do wonder if we're going to see an execute on the T side, but for now, it's Tarek burning them in the flames. He will get traded though. JDM has got a tight angle. It needs to be careful because it's a precarious situation. Kenny picks up. He will get traded though. JDM has got a tight angle. It needs to be careful because that is a precarious situation. Kenny picks it up. JDM goes down, and his teammates are on the wrong side of the door. So this is going to be a very sticky situation for CLG. Kenny has not had the orb, but only 25 HP. Needs to plant the bomb as well.
Yeah, this is looking quite disastrous. Cutler looking to throw in the save there for CLG, picking up an extra kill as Happy tries to take some positioning, get some pressure on this retake effort from CLG, but it is going to be down to Fugly and Cutler, and there's a lot of nades on Fugly. He's got an incendiary as well. That's going to be very good at flushing out these T's from their positions. There it goes onto the bomb site, but where are all these players? There's one by the APC. Cutler's going to assassinate MBK. Another kill coming in from Cutler as well. Just one more. Devil is going to get flanked. And there you go, Cutler with all the frags, 4K from him, but again, a lot of damage in that round, another bomb plant from ENVYUS, and they didn't even buy any grenades. Normally you'd expect even one flash or something, to pop flash, the rush or something like that, but they just went with the armor and the pistols, and it seemed to do the job.
A smart play from Cutler as well. He could see, he saw NBK was just randomly shooting his P250 behind the APCs, trying to break the distraction, but Cutler knew there was a crossfire situation. He was looking for it, managed to survive and take down NBK, and then find the trade fragger afterwards as well. So great play, good retake from the CTs. And they will continue again with the nades. We're going to have the full buy once again from Envy. Kenny on the AWP as well. 4 rounds from 9. I don't think they'll be happy with that so far. They get to the best of 1. That is a very good start though by Apex JDM. He's the star player on this match for CLG. He's gone down early. Can Envy capitalize?
Yeah, and usually you actually see him towards the B-bomb site, so that's an interesting bit of information there for MVS, of course, being able to take down the AWP immediately. What does that tell them about what the setup's going to be like on B? It probably won't matter too much for them. There's not too much they can do with any of that information at this point, but just being able to play a 5 versus 4 with 1 minute and 25 seconds left is actually an amazing position for a T-side, and for a T-side with a good caller. And Happy's now calling for the team as well, and it looks like Kenny S is going to start things happening towards A-Long, picks up a kill onto Tarek, and this looks really bad right now for CLG.
Indeed, it's a 4 versus 1 situation on the A-bomb site. Hazed has a hope and a prayer and silenced them 4. So he's going to have to hope he gets 2 with 1. There's an Inferno-esque flashbang. Only gets the 1 player though. Trade comes in, and again, his teammates are well out of position. The smoke's already down on the door. In fact, they're over towards B, and Happy might hear them running now. Indeed, he does. His attention has been reached by these CTs. So this is going to be another expensive round for CLG, and they're going to be back to losing ways once again. Envy looking to survive with 4 players, although the hunt has begun. Fugly is a fair few meters away, so he may survive if he chooses to go up the tower. Doesn't seem to be favoured though by the CLG players so far on this map.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, CLG are likely going to have to. I mean, if Ugly's able to keep this weapon alive, they can kind of quasi a little bit behind this, but their money's in a pretty awful spot. But that said, they've already got 5 rounds. They're actually putting up some really legit defenses from some of Envious's assaults. So the CLG are looking pretty strong in this Cobble match so far. I'm actually quite surprised in how well they're doing. I mean, let's not forget, they didn't even win the pistol.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that, well, you'd expect JDM to be more of a crutch on this map for them, but I mean, maybe you can put part of that towards Envy. Again, we haven't seen any like full executes that you see from more team-oriented players opposed to Angels from them so far. So this is a map where you may expect to get more rounds on the T side as well. We'll see how they choose to play this one. AWP back onto Kenny S. Not going to get wallbang on this occasion for Apex. There is a M4 onto NBK. See if they can continue and build a streak of rounds now.
Yeah, playing the long-range game against Kenny S
ये live streaming है
so
सिर्फ
incredibly difficult, and it's so impossible
ये
hard
क्या रिकॉर्ड होके
to
जा
train
रही है
against
उधर
him on, if he's on the T or the CT side, and he's so incredibly good at that long area. We already saw him get basically a round-winning pick there in the previous round. So if he's able to keep that up, it's a lot of trouble in store here for CLG, and we can start to see now MVS working on the A side of the map once again, but they're in no means actually committed towards A or B just yet. It's early days, but let's see what happens with Apex here.
Yeah, CLG are distinctly lacking in nades as well. Counter flashes are going to be a problem. Apex, is he going to get the kill here? There is a trade situation possible, but Kenny S comes in for the save. Nice angle being held by him. Now here's some good team play from Envy. 4 plays again exposing the A site, and it looks like CLG may have decided on the save already. Fugly moving away from A, closer to his teammates.
ये रिकॉर्ड कर रहा है या नहीं
Looking to cause yet more problems. JDM looking for the flank. Aggression is the best form of defense sometimes, and it definitely will be in this situation for the would-be saving CLG players. No bomb plant down just yet, so maybe
ये वीडियो सेव भी होगी
will provide them a chance to go for a retake here, but they've got 1 flashbang left, and that's it, and they're on the wrong side of the door. JDM's going for a super long flank down long A. KS is already looking there, so we may see a clash of the Titans soon.
Yeah, this is a pretty awful spot, to say the least, for CLG right now. Looks like they are actually trying to go for this retake, or at least trying to see if they can get a quick kill or 2 to see if the retake's possible. And it looks like that's actually going to be awarded to JDM, and that's going to encourage a duel or 2 coming in from the CLG players. And Cutler's going to get the kill onto Apex, meaning that they're going to go for this one. Cutler with a follow-up, and it's just on Devil, the new man here for NBC.
मैं इनके ही देख रहा हूँ
Cutler jumping in the air. Devil is going to mow him down with the AK-47, and it looks like MVS will win that round. That was a very hard call, I think, for CLG to go for that retake. I mean, they had made a good shout of it, I think, but
yeah, I think if
in
the bomb goes down faster, then they probably go for the save there when they're already moving over towards the B bomb site. But they just had so much time to play with that it's like, okay, well, let's just move a bit closer. If we can get another pick, then it's a 3 versus 3. Then we've got 40 seconds when the bomb goes down. So there's opportunity to be had there. Unfortunately, it didn't go their way, and now Envy can try and steamroll some rounds as CLG are on the eco.
Absolutely, and we are starting to see this this trend really of the Apex Kenny's combination on the providing entries and space at the start of the rounds. It's been very successful for Envy. It's much more successful than straight up challenging into a defensive setup with an execute, as we've seen not go so well for Envious in the previous rounds as they've made their efforts towards B. Now, this round is going to be about, of course, getting the information for Envious, because as we can see, we have a likely strategy out of a team, out of the CT side of CLG, which is basically stacking the players towards an area of the map where there's lots of close-range angles, where they can trade efficiently with the pistols. And, of course, they haven't really invested in anything more than a couple P250s, and Envious are actually walking into this side of the map, so let's see if CLG can actually pick up some damage here.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy with these pistols, and they are getting taken down bit by bit. I was just having a look. We're above both sides of the players here, so I was having a look at Tarek, who was behind 3 of his teammates. And he was just watching other people's screens. But not much to be done there, to be honest, so it's pretty much a nothing round. It's interesting, Tarek, he uses mostly the top right of his mouse pad, and JDM sitting back uses mostly the bottom right of his mouse pad, not moving much. Seems to be a bit of a risk player.
Yeah, so it was, generally speaking, pretty great effort there from Envious not to lose a single man. That's how you want to do it, of course. And that's going to make things all the more difficult for CLG in the closing rounds of the first half. They've already managed to secure 5 rounds, but this time JDM can't afford Norp, and they are much lighter on the grenades. You'll notice there's no incendiaries. And Envious are back to their strategy that's been working and getting the picks, but this time, actually, he's going to get picked off towards the B side of the map. This changes things for CLG. A 5 versus 4 advantage early on. This is an advantage they're not used to having so far.
Yeah, it seems Happy was going for a peek in the drop zone, and his head was what got dropped by Cutler. So he's going to be on the bench for this round. NBK now is going to be the lone soldier towards the B-bomb site. Nice pop flash coming in there. Will make use of it. Good team work by CLG. Pushing in the danger zone as well. And Apex has also left the building. 5 versus 2. There are only a few rounds left in this half. Envy doing much better now with 7 rounds on the board, but this bodes well for CLG going into the final rounds of the first half if they can hold on to most of their weaponry here. Just NBK and Devil remaining. We'll have to see what his clutch potential is compared to his teammates. We know NBK often has passive angles on the CT side, but we do know he is an absolute savage, and he'll be looking to pop some heads here for his team. CLG just biding in the time, using the grenades they have, their utility. And there we go, Fugly takes on NBK, so now it's on a new boy. Doesn't last very long. We'll go into round 14 with 5 surviving players on CLG.
Yeah, and there's going to be money there for the buy on MVS, so they're not too worried about fielding a strong round into round 14. And interestingly, of course, CLG 6 rounds already on the CT side. That's pretty legit. That's going to give them a lot of opportunity when they move on to the T side to figure out what kind of attacks are going to be working for them against Envious currently. Again, Kenny's has been really on form as of late, and with the AWP on long areas, incredibly dangerous towards the A side of the map. So I have to see where they find the chinks in the armor of Envious. But for now, let's see if CLG can make this even better for themselves. Can they pick up that 7th round? Another push comes in on towards the A side of the map. This has been working out for Envious so far against CLG's defense, and there's actually a bit of a flank there. Good stuff in from JDM.
Yeah, it's really nice play by JDM because they have to be paranoid about the flank there as they push the spike. They're sandwiched between
Iधर
the
ही
two
यार.
players. So one person has to look behind him all the time, and that's what happens. Kenny is looking behind him, gets shot from the other back. And another round on the board for CLG. Very smart play from JDM there. Getting a shot as they come through the smoke, then pushing through the smoke himself. They don't go back to challenge him, but then he gets, Happy seemed to be taken by complete surprise there. Wasn't looking for JDM, so they seem to have no idea. They must have assumed that he ran back.
Yeah, so we moved to 7-7, so I think it's getting quite interesting as MVS are pushed into a spot where, well, their money wasn't too perfect, so we're going to see MBK on his...
He's gone for a scout.
His signature scout.
T-side scout on Cobblestone. I am quite curious to see how he is going to make use of that.
Yeah, he's a bit of a scout specialist as MBK.
I suppose if they go for a fast B push, he can stay on the platform while his teammates try and take the site, and he can pick off people coming through the door. But he's going to be looking for the entries, it seems, as he is on the end of the balcony. Going to be having a butcher's hook, as we would say, in the Cockney parts of London.
All right, so looks like the action is about to kick off here now as the nades coming in from the ENVYUS side. The execute begins to unfold onto this B-bomb site. Hayes is looking frantically left and right. Where are the players from the drop zone? He's expecting one, and finally Happy's going to come in very late, dropping down mid, a headshot. And that is going to be Hayes out of the picture. 3 players surviving onto the bomb site for ENVYUS against the 3 coming in for the retake of CLG. So this is a pretty close affair between these two sides. The bomb now adding that pressure of the clock to CLG as well. Nades coming in. Kenny S with a quick headshot on Tarek. Cutler can't make good of his close position, and now it's all down to JDM.
Yeah, they've got the man advantage, have the NV side. And JDM does not have a kit. Not sure if there's one on the floor. But time is not on his side. The trade situation is going to go in the favour of NV. And they will take a thin lead going into the second half. So in 15 rounds, the one actual execute they did on the B site was round 15.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting as well, considering that the 7 rounds on the CT side is again, it's pretty legit, and CLG did not even win in the pistol round or the follow-up force buy. I mean, they got a bit of damage in, but it was nothing too special. They won a lot of buy rounds when ENVYUS were kind of experimenting, because you always have to figure out, okay, where is, is the execute on B going to be the strong point for us, or is it going to be a slower picking style? We saw them going to kind of go through the motions there, and eventually they discovered the slower rounds were working out better for them. CLG were facing them here and there, and that's prime position for Kenny S to get those kills.
Yeah, I mean, after the pistol round and the 2 following rounds, 5 of the next 6 rounds were won by CLG, so it wasn't a fantastic start for Envy, but they started to claw back once they broke the economy of the CT side, started to claw back a lot of rounds, because it was looking a bit ropey. It was looking very ropey for them, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
At the beginning, once the pistol's out of the way, and bearing that in mind, CLG did a good job of getting 7 rounds on the board on their CT side, and I don't feel like JDM was even tested as much as I would have expected him to be over towards the B-bomb site. That said, he was rotating over towards the underpass or mid area, if you will. Not with much success though. Often you might see Orpers again looking at the boulder towards the top of the hill, where people would not normally cross. But then again, Envy were playing quite passively over there. So you had Kenny looking towards long A, but from much further back. So he wouldn't be holding those angles. So still all to play for. Again, it is a best of 1, which makes it really tricky to figure out what's going to happen here, because obviously Envy not playing at their best. And
yeah.
their best was far above CLG's best, but CLG haven't been performing very good either. So really.
And this is the thing, when you're going into this kind of situation, and let's say, you're ENVYUS and you lose that pistol round on the CT side, you're now in a spot where you can't really afford, when your first buy versus buy comes in, you can't necessarily really afford all the utility you want and all the weapons you want to deal with some of the faster execute-based play that CLG are likely going to throw at ENVYUS at some point, probably sooner rather than later. So that's going to be a big issue for them. And if you don't get the economic momentum kind of earlier on, as we actually saw from the first buy round CLG do on their CT side, you're in a lot of trouble. So I'm very curious to see how this is actually going to pan out. And here it is.
Well, look at this. Envy has sent 4 people over towards the B-bomb site. Kenny is basically standing in CT spawn like his keyboard's broken, and there are 5 CLG players coming towards him very quickly. Hayes is going to wreck him straight in the face. He has no idea what's going on. Envy looking for the retake now. Smoke's down on the door already. Happy with a very long flank. He may not get there in time.
So Raid Boss with a Deagle is actually panning out right now as the players with the Glocks are going to be following suit, and Fugly picks up a 2k there. And this is looking terrible right now for ENVYUS. Only left with Happy, now the in-game leader again. The lurker of the team as well. Let's see if he's able to actually pick up some kills here. 1 versus 4, of course, very unrealistic. It would have to be a huge misplay from CLG to allow Happy to actually do anything in this position. He's spotted, he'll get the first kill, but that is that. And it looks like ENVYUS will be put in a pretty poor position at the start of this second half, with the force buy looking like the play they want to go with.
Man, they swung in there like Homeland Security. Bish, bash, bosh. That was pretty quick. So everything's tied up. What is the play from Envy? They're going to go for the force buy, of course. What else would you expect? Kenny, though, he's going to keep a grand in the bank, $1,000, as he will be looking to get his AWP sooner rather than later. Will Hayes be able to make another connection with somebody's face? He's holding behind that boulder I was talking about earlier with the Deagle. He's on the opposite side to the side where you can often be opt from where NBK is standing at present. So we can see that Envy are going to be looking for the one-taps with those super strong guns. Again, if you're looking at the weaponry on the CLG side, you see JDM has got the MAC-10, so one would expect him to be jumping around trying to harass and find out where people are. That is a super good smoke to put down because it splits the crossfire situation. You still get top flashes coming through, but there are no flashes on these plays. Devil trying to run through, he's getting blocked, but he'll find the frag anyway, so the trade does come in as CLG move into the drop zone.
Yeah, so this is going to be pretty interesting to see if Envious can actually pick up kills. CLG are not really all that in position just yet. Envious will have some space to work with as they go in, and you can see that's actually going to be the case. Apex not able to make good of his first engagement. He'll go down, and it is going to be MBK kept at bay by the drop zone as well. So Fugly able to do a good job of holding his position with that AK-47, allowing the bomb to go down without further altercation.
NBK, 1 HP Jesus, not much he can do at the moment, just holding an angle in case somebody tries to get some more real estate. Devil seems to be going for a bit of a save here, so I wonder if his teammates are going to join him. Not going to go for a push. I mean, in this situation, you're more times than not going to win the round here, so you can try and use your pistols to their best advantage, playing close quarters, looking for some one-taps, trying to steal away a rifle if you can, which is what Happy may try to do here. NBK going for the peak, but he never stood much of a chance. Happy, though, has potential. There goes one, but he will have Tarek stop him from being able to pick up any toys. He will leave empty-handed.
Yeah, and I actually like, Envious sticking around there. So we saw CLG in a similar situation on their first half, and they decided to actually just run to the tower to try to actually save their pistol armor into the next round. But Envious had pretty good engagements there, probably better engagements than they'd find in the next round if they saved those pistols. So pretty smart to go for the exits there. Didn't work out too well for them, unfortunately, for the French side, but have to see how things pan out after this eco. Now this is about CLG playing it correctly. That's what we want to look at in this round. They need to be able to stick together, use the grenades, and make sure that Envious can't abuse the only thing the pistols are really good at, which is the close one-tap range, as you mentioned previously. Yep. And that's pretty much it, really.
Well, we've got Tarek with the AK looking over towards the B bomb site, trying to find out what's going on there, slowly moving. He's got the range advantage with that if people try and poke in through the door. Meanwhile, JDM is over towards A, where there's a 4-man stack from Envy. He's going to be jumping around the corners, trying to avoid being headshot with that MAC-10. He's trying to spam people with a hail of bullets. There's a nice back there from Kenny and Devil. That's going to do the job. That may speed things up from CLG over towards B bomb site. They've pretty much got control of all the choke points in that direction now. So you see Apex coming close, going to try and jump into the drop zone, but Cutler's there to greet him with open arms. Rather than a hawk, he may want to be a vulture, picking the dead bodies of these players. There goes two. Oh, he's just making money now. He's rolling in cash.
Just one after another. That's
He's that guy, Huel from Baking Brad.
That's
He's a fat brother rolling in the green. In the greenbacks. Is that what they say, greenbacks?
I don't know, mate.
I just want to get as much patriotism in here as possible. So CLG have a 2-round lead.